John Brown wants to light the fuse. October 1859. Passionate in his hatred of slavery, Brown prepares to take the fight into the heart of the South. His plan, to capture the federal arsenal at Harper's Ferry, Virginia. The biggest collection of weapons in the South. 20,000 rifles, muskets, and pistols, worth almost $7 million today. He wants to arm Southern slaves and lead a slave rebellion. He's fighting alongside his 5 sons, all of them willing to die for their cause. The arsenal is poorly defended. Breaking in is a pushover. But his raid is based on local slaves rising up and joining the fight. He needs a small army to carry off so many weapons. Without slave reinforcements, it's a suicide mission. Word gets out, and local townsfolk attack the arsenal. Not a single slave joins Brown and his men. They are trapped, fighting for their lives.
I want to free all Negroes in the state. I have possession of the United States Armory. And if the citizens interfere with me, I must only burn the town and have blood.
Brother fights brother.
They fought and lost hundreds of thousands of men on both sides, fighting for what they believed was right.
In America's deadliest war.
Somebody gets tired, somebody blinks, somebody makes a mistake.
Radical abolitionist John Brown is trying to inspire a slave revolt. No slaves have joined him, and now he's trapped. At dawn, the U.S. Marines arrive. They storm.
No slaves to join him. So he's left to fight by himself with his sons. This man put his life on the line to help free slaves. And what the slaves do? Let's go.
Storm the arsenal under the command of Colonel Robert E. Lee. Brown won't go down without a fight. The soldiers overwhelm them. The fight against slavery has only just begun. But John Brown's crusade is over. His sons are dead. His trial captivates the country. Charged as a criminal, he puts the institution of slavery on trial. America is fatally divided. Brown is convicted of treason and sentenced to death. A terrorist in the South, a martyr in the North. He's executed on December 2nd, 1859. As the country prepares to elect a new president in 1860, many wonder if the nation can survive.
I, John Brown, am now quite certain that the crimes of this guilty land will never be purged away, but with blood.
He's the #1 human being that's ever been produced in America. Ever. It's John Brown. Abolitionists. Black folks couldn't belong to the abolitionists. They said we are too childlike. No black person could ever join. You got a bunch of white folks that will kill white folks, die for me, but I couldn't belong to them. That's not what I'm bringing out. John Brown, #1. John Brown. Why? When he went to Harper's Ferry, he took his 2 sons with him. Nobody will fight harder for blackness than me. Money-wise, it take a thing for me giving money for my children to go to private schools or money to the movement. I picked the movement. He went there and watched his 2 boys be shot dead. A white man. For me. He was wounded, but he wasn't shot dead. So his trial came up. They sentenced him to be hanged. I go on my birthday, October the 12th, to say thanks to this brother. I go back on October the 12th, my birthday. I go back October the 16th is the day of Harper's Ferry. I go back December the 2nd, the day they hanged him. And I go to the courthouse where they brought him out. I walk down to the streets where he turned left and walked 3 blocks and then turn right and walk 6 blocks, and there's the tree where they hanged him. I hugged the tree. Jesus was sent here to die for my sins. He wasn't. He had no orders. Had it not been for John Brown, it wouldn't have been a civil war. The world wouldn't have changed. Let me tell you what we dealing with so vicious. A white woman didn't get the right to vote to 1921. Legally, black slave men had the right to vote with the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment. They didn't give it to them, we had the right. We talking about his mama, his girlfriend, his sister, his daughter, his wife. That's how vicious this thug is. And she don't even see it. Which means a white woman had to go on trial for murder that she was framed. She couldn't get a jury of her peers because you had to vote. So now let's watch this. Abraham Lincoln. When you look at the top of the Capitol, that Indian, he declared that something special on December the 2nd, the same day of the year that they hanged John Brown. Hanged John Brown. So I go there. And here's what John Brown said when they yelled at him. Hey, nigga lover, what you got to say? He said, all I can say is what I'm fixing to die for. If I was doing this for the benefit of rich white men, I'd be your hero. Then he walked up the steps and listened to this real good. When they put the noose around him, he stopped. He said, oh, by the way, I talked to God last night. And God told me to tell you, you have missed the last chance to free the Negro slave with no blood. No blood. Told me to tell you the Negro slave will be free, be the biggest bloodbath in the history of planet Earth. That kind of boggled me. The biggest? I was a grown man before I figured it out. It's the only war in the history of the planet where both sides went to the same school, West Point. They knew each other's training. They knew each other's training. You couldn't trick me. I would train like this here. I know when you throw your hand back and throw your head, you're going to throw me a ball, I'm going to walk. So I'll be ready to hit it. Nah. The bloodbath came on want you to watch this. Robert E. Lee. He was a mad Christian. No, shrewder military genius at the time than him. But he thought God sent him here to protect the white Christians. And so if he had a captain that wouldn't go forward, front, he'd kill him. Robert E. Lee. So all at once now, the Civil War was tipped off because of John Brown. I hear this good. When the Northern soldiers was marching into battle, they weren't singing God Bless America. They wasn't singing America the Beautiful. They were singing John Brown's body is a molding in the grave. John Brown's body is a molding in the grave. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is. There's the soldiers singing this at the front line. When they hanged John, the white folks said, the racists, don't let his body get back to upstate New York. He'll be made a martyr. Black men from Harper's Ferry to upstate New York came down and lined the road from Harper's Ferry to upstate New York and said, try it. Try it. And that's why his body got back.
John Brown's body lies a mouldering in the grave. John Brown's body lies a mouldering in the grave. John Brown's body lies a mouldering in the grave, but his soul goes marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. But his soul goes marching on. The stars above in heaven are looking kindly down. The stars above in heaven are looking kindly down. The stars above in heaven are looking kindly down on the grave of old John Brown. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His soul goes marching on. He captured Harper's Ferry with his 19 men so true. He frightened old Virginia till she trembled through and through. They hanged him for a traitor, they themselves the traitor crew. His soul goes marching on.